Explosions, betrayals, and Peacemaker dancing his way through chaos. Episode 3 left fans on the edge of their seats. But the real question is, how did we get here, and what does it all mean for Episode 4? Episode 3 of Peacemaker Season 2 was nothing short of a roller coaster, balancing sharp humor with intense drama. The episode opened with Peacemaker and his team still reeling from the fallout of their last mission. The tension was visible. Trust between the characters is cracking, and old wounds are starting to resurface. From the very first scene, you could feel that Episode 3 was setting the stage for something big, something dangerous, and possibly something tragic. One of the strongest elements in this episode was how it played with Peacemaker's personality. On one side, we see the goofy, loud, and unapologetically awkward anti-hero who always manages to say the wrong thing at the wrong time. But underneath the jokes and bizarre one-liners, there's a man who is haunted by guilt, struggling with his sense of identity and trying to figure out if he can actually be a better person or if he's doomed to repeat his violent past. This duality is what makes Episode 3 so fascinating, and it's why fans are eager to see how Episode 4 will push him even further. Another highlight was the way Episode 3 handled the dynamics between the team. Harcourt, the tough but empathetic leader figure, had to step in multiple times to keep the group from falling apart. Vigilante, as usual, brought in comic relief, but even his cheerful madness couldn't hide the fact that the mission is getting darker by the minute. There were arguments, eye rolls, and moments of doubt, but through all the chaos, the show reminded us that this isn't just about stopping the villains. It's about whether this group of misfits can truly function as a team. Of course, Peacemaker wouldn't be complete without action sequences that blend brutal violence with outrageous comedy. Episode 3 delivered on that front, with fights that were both jaw-dropping and laugh-out-loud funny. One scene in particular where Peacemaker turns a life-or-death battle into something absurd with his ridiculous improvisation perfectly captured the spirit of the show. It's violent, it's shocking, but you can't look away. But the biggest talking point from Episode 3 was the cliffhanger. Just when it seemed like the mission was back under control, the team stumbled onto a revelation. That changes everything. Without diving into spoilers, let's just say it set the stage for Episode 4 in the most dramatic way possible. The final moments left fans asking who can be trusted and what secret has been hiding in plain sight. That ending didn't just wrap up the episode, it cracked open the door for the chaos we'll see next. Episode 3 also gave us subtle hints about the larger story of the season. There were small details, lines of dialogue, background moments, even the way certain characters reacted that hinted at deeper betrayals and bigger threats waiting in the shadows. It's the kind of writing that rewards viewers who pay close attention, and it's why Episode 4 is already so highly anticipated. The tension has been built, the characters are at a breaking point, and now we're all waiting to see who will rise and who will fall. In short, Episode 3 wasn't just another chapter in the story, it was the spark before the explosion. It gave us the emotional weight, the action-packed excitement, and the jaw-dropping twist that now sets the perfect stage for Episode 4. And if the next episode delivers on the promises of this cliffhanger, we're in for one of the wildest rides of the entire season. Episode 4 of Peacemaker Season 2 is already shaping up to be one of the most intense and unpredictable chapters of the season. From the glimpses we've seen in the official preview and the breadcrumbs dropped at the end of Episode 3, this next installment isn't just about more action. It's about raising the emotional stakes to their highest point yet. The trailer opens with quick flashes of chaos, Peacemaker suited up, charging into battle with that trademark mix of reckless courage and clueless confidence. There's a shot of Harcourt glaring across the room, her patience clearly stretched to the breaking point. Then the screen cuts to a dark alley where Vigilante, mask on, seems to be preparing for a fight of his own. These rapid cuts don't reveal much on the surface, but the tone is unmistakable. Episode 4 is going to dig deeper into both conflict and character. One of the key takeaways from the preview is that Episode 4 won't just push the plot forward, it will test the team. Like never before, we see Peacemaker questioning whether their mission is even worth it, muttering lines that suggest he's finally confronting his own self-doubt. This is crucial because for all his jokes and wild behavior, Chris Smith has never truly stopped to ask if he's capable of real change. Episode 4 looks like the moment where that question will demand an answer, but it's not only about Peacemaker's internal struggle. The preview hints at cracks forming in the group dynamic. We hear raised voices, accusations flying, and one moment where it looks like Adebayo is caught between her loyalty to Peacemaker and the cold orders of Amanda Waller's world. That tension could explode in Episode 4, and it raises the question, can this team survive not only the threats outside, but the ones inside their own ranks? Of course, no preview would be complete without the promise of action, and Episode 4 doesn't disappoint. Quick glimpses show hand-to-hand combat in confined spaces, Peacemaker diving behind cover as bullets rip through the air, and what appears to be a chase sequence that spills into the streets at night. What makes these teasers so effective is the way they balance intensity with mystery. We know something huge is about to go down, but the showrunners are careful to hide exactly who is pulling the strings. There's also a shadowy figure teased. In the trailer, a figure who may be the real villain pulling the threads this season. Their face isn't shown, but their presence is felt. In one chilling moment, we hear a voice say, "The war has already begun," and fans are already speculating about who that could be. Could it be a returning character from Season 1, or are we about to meet a completely new threat who will push Peacemaker beyond his limits? But here's where Episode 4 feels different from the episodes before it. It isn't just about fighting the enemy. It's about peeling back layers of who these characters really are. We see brief, almost silent shots of Harcourt alone, holding what looks like a personal memento. We catch Vigilante with his mask off, looking unusually vulnerable, and Peacemaker. He looks more broken than ever before, staring into a mirror as if he's finally being forced to face the man he has become. These aren't just filler shots, they're signals that Episode 4 is going to deliver some of the most character-driven storytelling of the season. Another intriguing element teased in the preview is the return of Peacemaker's past. We see flashes of what could be hallucinations or memory scenes where his father's voice echoes, reminding him of old scars that never truly healed. This ties back to one of the core themes of the show, the battle inside Peacemaker's own head. Episode 4 may not only pit him against enemies in the real world, but also against the ghosts he carries with him every day. Then let's not forget the humor. Even in the middle of explosions and emotional breakdowns, the preview sneaks in quick moments of Peacemaker's absurd wit. A line about his pet eagly, and a completely inappropriate joke mid-battle remind us that no matter how dark things get, this show always finds a way to make us laugh at the most unexpected times. In summary, the Episode 4 preview promises a perfect storm, brutal action, emotional depth, fractured alliances, and the hint of a larger threat looming in the background. It's the kind of setup that could completely shift the direction of the season. And if Episode 3 was the spark before the fire, then Episode 4 is where that fire finally erupts, burning away secrets, testing friendships, and pushing Peacemaker to the edge of who he really is. Asterisk, when it comes to Peacemaker, the story is never straightforward. Every episode drops subtle hints, inside jokes, and unexpected twists that keep fans spinning wild theories. With Episode 4 just around the corner, the internet is already alive with speculation about what could happen next. Let's break down some of the biggest and most intriguing predictions, and see which ones might actually come true. One of the strongest theories right now is that the mysterious villain teased in the Episode 4 preview isn't just a random new character. It might be someone connected directly to Peacemaker's past. Fans have pointed out how the trailer used haunting voiceovers and fragmented flashbacks, which could mean his late father, Augie Smith, still has a role to play. Now, we know Augie died in Season 1, but in Peacemaker's world, death doesn't always mean the end. Some believe we'll see Augie in hallucinations, pushing Chris deeper into guilt. Others think his presence could be tied to a larger force manipulating Peacemaker's fragile mind. Whether it's psychological or supernatural, Episode 4 may finally answer if Peacemaker has really escaped his father's shadow. or if that shadow is about to consume him again. Another theory focuses on Adebayo. She's been caught between her loyalty to Peacemaker and her connection to Amanda Waller since the beginning. In episode 3, the tension grew sharper, with subtle clues that she may be keeping secrets from the team. Fans are predicting that episode 4 could mark the moment she has to make a choice: stand by Peacemaker or betray him to serve Waller's interests. Some even believe she could act as a double agent, playing both sides until her hand is forced. If this theory holds, episode 4 could flip the team dynamics upside down, making trust a rare commodity. And then there's Vigilante. For all his comic relief and awkward charm, many fans think he's headed for a darker arc. Episode 4's preview shows him in a few unusually serious moments, mask off, face tense. Could this be the episode where Vigilante is forced to step out of Peacemaker's shadow and face consequences of his own actions? One prediction suggests Vigilante could end up being the key to saving the team, not because of his wild violence, but because of a sacrifice. Others think the opposite, that Vigilante's unpredictable nature could cause the mission to spiral out of control. Either way, episode 4 may finally peel back the layers of this fan-favorite character. Now, let's talk about that chilling line from the teaser. The war has already begun. Who said it? And what does it mean? A popular theory is that the team is about to discover they're not fighting a single villain, but part of a much bigger conspiracy. Some fans connect this to the larger DC universe, suggesting episode 4 could plant seeds for crossovers or bigger storylines beyond the show. Others think it's more personal, that the war is about Peacemaker's battle within himself. Either way, this line feels like a turning point. And episode 4 could be where the season widens its scope from small missions to something epic. There's also speculation about Eagly. Yes, even Peacemaker's beloved pet eagle is part of fan theories. A few sharp-eyed viewers noticed the bird appearing in key moments in previous episodes, almost as if he represents Peacemaker's conscience. Some fans jokingly suggest Eagly might play a bigger symbolic role in episode 4, maybe even saving the day in an unexpected way. As ridiculous as that sounds, this is Peacemaker, a show that thrives on turning the absurd into something meaningful. Finally, the boldest theory out there is that episode 4 could end with a major betrayal from within the team, not just doubts or arguments, but a full-blown betrayal that changes everything. Whether it's Adebayo, Harcourt, or even someone unexpected, this theory suggests the team will walk into episode 5 completely broken. It would be a risky move, but one that fits James Gunn's storytelling style, unafraid to shock audiences and force characters into uncomfortable growth. So what can we really expect? Episode 4 seems ready to deliver more than just another fight. It's poised to crack open the characters' inner struggles, test the bonds of trust, and possibly reveal the true villain behind the chaos. Whether these theories come true or not, one thing is certain: episode 4 isn't just another chapter. It's the one that could redefine the season, and that brings us to the edge of episode 4, the point where the questions outnumber the answers, the stakes feel heavier than ever, and every fan is left asking, what happens next? If episode 3 lit the fuse, episode 4 is where the explosion hits. And the fallout could change everything we thought we knew about Peacemaker Season 2, but here's the beauty of this show. It's not just about what happens on screen, it's about the conversation it sparks. Every moment, every one-liner, every insane twist keeps the fandom alive with theories, memes, and debates. That's why your voice matters here. What do you think is going to happen in episode 4? Will Peacemaker finally face his demons head-on? Will the team fracture beyond repair? Or is the real villain someone we haven't even seen yet? Drop your wildest predictions down below, because half the fun of this journey is seeing how close or how hilariously far off our theories end up being. Now, let's take a step back and think about why this preview matters so much. Peacemaker is one of those rare shows that refuses to sit in just one lane. It's part superhero saga, part comedy, part tragic character study. Episode 4 isn't just the next episode, it's the hinge point of the season. After this, we're not going back. The stakes will only rise. The jokes will hit harder, and the heartbreak will cut deeper. If you've been watching since the beginning, you know this show has a rhythm. Set us up with humor, break us down with drama, then shock us with something we never saw coming. Episode 4 feels like it's going to deliver all three at once, and that's why this is the perfect time to stay locked in with us. We'll be covering not only the Episode 4 review right after it drops, but also breaking down Easter eggs, hidden references, and behind-the-scenes details you might have missed. If you're the kind of fan who loves peeling back the layers, this is where you'll want to be. So here's my call to you. If you enjoyed this preview breakdown, hit that like button. It's a simple click, but it tells me you want more deep dives into the wild world of Peacemaker. If you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss the Episode 4 review and all the madness that's sure to follow. And hey, turn on notifications, too, because let's be real, when Peacemaker drops a new episode, you're going to want to hear the theories, the breakdowns, and the laughs right away. Not a week later, but let's not just stop at the basics. Share this video with your fellow fans, the ones who can't stop quoting Vigilante's awkward one-liners, the ones who scream at the screen every time Eagly shows up, the ones who live for James Gunn's mix of heart and insanity. Because the bigger this community grows, the crazier the theories get, and the more fun it is to watch this season unfold together. And finally, let me leave you with a question that might haunt you until Episode 4 actually drops. If the war has already begun, as the trailer suggests, whose side is Peacemaker really on? Is he fighting for the greater good, or is he still trapped in the cycle of violence that's defined his life? Think about it. Debate it. Argue it in the comments, because when that episode hits, we'll find out together. This isn't just the end of a preview, it's the start of the next big conversation. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss it.